I want to thank Anna and Roman for this valuable information. It all makes sense. I can see now that this is the way to speak normal like every other normal person. 3 days is enough because you teach the norms or the correct way to speak. You will understand these norms on the first day, what they are and how to use them when you speak. It may be difficult at first, but it will, on the second day, everything will be fine. And to be honest, it has been some kind of a trauma for me, because it has caused me so much damage, you can say, in my everyday life. Whenever I try to speak, I can feel that I become very unconscious. It's like I become this other person. You can almost say it's like like you are a schizophrenic, and that is that in turn affects my speech, as I said, and my relationship with other people. I have no power over it. It feels like it always wins, because I have a difficult time with handling the embarrassment that will occur if I stutter. So I'm like, so maybe it's fear, maybe it's, I mean, it's like with everything. Everything negative, and the other side, my unconscious mind, is very, very strong, and it always wins. You know, it always makes me lose control over myself. I always come to a certain word or something, you know, that I can't where I block, and I can feel this poison coming in advance. It's like it's coming, and then I get stuck on a word. It's like a shark, you know, like and then like, you know. I was 6 years old, and I was in preschool, and I remember that I wanted to say something to my teacher, and I got a block. I started to stumble on a word or two, and she gave me this look like, is there something wrong with you, or do you want to say, or, yeah. And of course it made me feel embarrassed. I need to learn 2 languages at once when I grew up. So when I tried to impress other kids with my Swedish, I failed. I mispronounced words. They started to laugh, and of course you feel embarrassed because you try so hard to fit in. You want to impress the other.
Yeah.
As a young kid, to them it's funny when someone else can't say what they know. That's it.
That's when you learned to feel sorry for yourself as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And learn that you were this big and others were big.
Yeah.
Right.
No one knew the answer. That is why, as I told you, the first day I think I went to this speech therapist. Something happened in school, something I don't remember really, so I called my sister, and she called this speech therapist and made an appointment. for me. I went there, and the very first day, the very first thing she told me was, you can't cure stuttering, you have to learn to live with it.
It's so much invaluable information.
Yeah.
Every word you say today, it could be a key for someone else.
Yes.
When people watch and they hear, my God, I have exactly the same problem. And they realize that I'm not sick. I don't have to be looking for a cure. This is why I make videos, I record everything. And a lot of people are afraid when I record.
Yeah, me too. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't.
Okay?
It's very, especially when you open yourself, you know, it's very personal, all of this. And
right?
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable, to be honest.
Of course. You don't want to open up to other people. Why?
Because stuttering has been such a huge trauma for me. I don't really want to look back and remember myself as this person that I was, who basically couldn't do anything in life. It screwed up everything. Relationships, family, I mean, it was like a living hell. So there's no point looking back, and I just want to focus on moving forward and become a better speaker.
It's slavery.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's painful to look back and think about all the time you embarrassed yourself. People looked at you weird. They were thinking, oh, is there something wrong with you? People didn't want to speak with you. Yeah, and you feel small.
Can you talk about it?
I haven't really talked about it like never before.
I just want to mention that the only way we sort out our life is when we talk it out. We put it in words, and then our problems always can be solved, because we can find a solution for any problem only after we have put it in words. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to repeat a question. You can be emotional, it's not a problem. Just put it in words, because as you now understand, even when we are emotional, we can speak.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. So once again, I know it's very hard for you. How did stuttering impact your life?
It made me, I couldn't develop my own self. I was very lost when I was young, and also in my adulthood as well. And that is what happens when you stutter as a kid. You obviously you hear people around you talk and develop speech, talk in situations, talk in classrooms, being social. So of course, you feel that they are smarter than you, they are better than you. Everything, I mean, it's a evil circle, everything.
Did you hear that accept your stuttering?
I've heard it many times, yes. It's so stupid.
So you made a decision, you don't want to accept this.
No, never. I've never accepted my stutter. I always felt that I was normal. I've never seen myself as a victim, never. Even if I was lost and everything, I never felt myself as a victim. Just couldn't think properly. Always felt that there has to be an answer for it somewhere, as other stutterers can experience. They never stutter when they speak to themselves or sings or speak to a person who they feel comfortable speaking with. Friends, family. You can speak to your dog if you want and you won't stutter.
It doesn't matter where you speak, to the dog, to yourself, to other people. Do you understand now why it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter, no. Even now I'm very emotional, but I still can speak. I don't stutter now. I'm using my body-mind device and I speak like a normal person does,
Exactly.
Even if I'm emotional. Yeah. I never believed that it is a neurological problem, never. It can't be. I was searching the internet for answers for many, many years, or maybe when I was about 23, 24, I think.
There is so much misinformation online. What have you tried?
I have tried it all. I mean, you name it. Well, maybe when I was about 27, then YouTube came, I think, and it became popular and social media started to dominate the internet. I remember I started to typing how to overcome stuttering on YouTube, and I would see what would come up. And I saw these videos, 10 techniques how to get rid of your stuttering. So I clicked on them, and I really believe that normal people have had learned all these 10 techniques from childhood. This is the way you are supposed to speak correctly, with these techniques in your unconscious mind. You're learning them and then they stick in your mind forever. And you speak like everyone else. That's what I thought, because the person on the video is so convincing. Do this, do that, focus on your breath, say ah before a sentence. And I started to speak with these techniques in real life. And I could literally feel how it messed up my mind even more.
And
I got
body.
more confused.
And body.
And body, I got more confused. I had more pain in my head. I have not joined any programs, but I have bought their books and read it. Yeah. The first one was I think it's called the Valsalva Mechanism. To me, it all made sense. You should relax your throat and chest and diaphragm, and it will make your stuttering disappear. But I tried this and I noticed, and I know the answer now, that when you focus on relaxing your diaphragm, chest and everything else, you lose attention to speaking.
And of course, you are not focused on speaking, but you're focused on the muscles of your body. And of course you
and I started to tense them, yes.
Yeah, that's why you develop pains and aches.
So you can be the most relaxed person in the world, you will still stutter. because stuttering is not in the tension of your body, it's in your mind.
Exactly.
And I realized that.
Yeah, information is in our mind first.
Yeah.
The body is just a mirror of our mind.
Yeah. After I've read these books and found out or discovered that nothing worked, I still struggle with my speech. I have this negative feelings. I was still nervous when I spoke. Yeah, and it only made things worse.
All these books have misinformation. It doesn't resonate with reality. It's a fantasy of one man. As I told you when we talked during the class, I got a message from one guy. I have my own norms. I'm proud of being different. Then, okay, go ahead and stutter. That's what's different is, stuttering. Deviation from the norm.
The first time I saw your videos was maybe 4 years ago.
Ooh, 4 years ago.
I started to listen to you and your videos, and you were the first one who used the word normal, speak like a normal person. And that was exactly what I wanted to hear. That was exactly the way I wanted to speak, like a normal person. I don't want to think about things or techniques or breathing, or because I knew that normal people don't do that. They just speak with ease.
And when you ask them, how do you speak? What do they answer? I don't know.
No.
That's normal. So why did it take you 4 years?
I believe there wasn't so much videos. You haven't uploaded so many videos. So I was a little careful. Then I also saw the price, which, of course it's a lot of money, which I didn't have back then. So I looked at your videos and tried to gain so much information from it, and hoping that maybe I will hear it somewhere or figure it out myself how to speak normal, I think.
Yeah. This is what people do. They still attempt to figure it out, and they do not realize that the only way you can unlock your mind is when you come to a teacher.
Yes.
You don't know what your lock is. Your mind is locked. Each and every student receives a personal, custom-made key for his mind.
Yeah.
And you experienced it, that even I'm like, wow, Roman, new analogy, I didn't hear that. But right away, he looked at you, he knew what analogy to give you to unlock your lock. Because all people have different locks. Locks are unique. And exchanging information with each other, it's like exchanging keys. I mean, if I give you the key from my apartment and you're gonna attempt to use my key to unlock the door in your apartment, will it work?
No.
Of course not. So people sit and wait for years. 4 years in your case. I have had people who would tell me 6 years.
Okay.
How old are you?
37.
37. If by 37 you haven't figured it out yourself, chances are you need someone who understands how everything works.
Yeah.
And this person, like Roman Snishko, here is the key. Tick! Unlocked. Now you're free.
Yeah. I came back. Watching your videos, I started to search for, I remember your name and Deeter, so I tapped it on the internet, on YouTube, Google, and I saw that you had uploaded more videos during these years of people and students who stuttered but learned to speak the correct way. First of all, I had the money now on my bank account, and I continued to struggle with my speech. I didn't feel comfortable with myself. The feeling of schizophrenic was still there. And I said to myself, I have come to a certain age. I can't be like this. I was very excited starting the course at first, and all was going as my expectations. But to be honest, after the first day, they still feel very skeptical. I was thinking, oh man, this ain't gonna work. I remember feeling very nauseous on the second day when I woke up. I was like, oh no. I had this, fear and everything, all negative feelings and tension in my body that I used to get when I stutter or make mistakes. However, on the first day, you told certain things that I think I needed to hear that to understand. Day number 2, you asked me to make a phone call, and obviously you could see and tell that I got very nervous, but I still did it. I made 2 phone calls yesterday, and it went well. I mean, I didn't make any significant mistakes, or I didn't have any huge blocks, or of course I felt this discomfort in my mind and body, but it's all practice. Well, we practice more on day 2 with the different speech modes. Some of them obviously I felt awkward doing. Some of them were easier, but I'm glad that I did everyone, and I did as you told me. And English is not my first language, so I had some difficulty finding English words. I usually speak my first language, which is Swedish.
You know what? Your English is pretty good. Don't tell me this. It's fishing for compliments. You're pretty good. Yeah, your English is pretty good, but of course your vocabulary is smaller.
And I noticed that when I was doing speech modes, certain speech modes. I believe in one speech mode you told me to switch to Swedish, and everything just came out like this, and yeah.
Okay, I want you to tell me if you already spoke with your parents about the course.
Yes, I spoke this morning with my parents. My mom asked me, the first question she asked me was, did it work? Yeah.
And
I was like, yes. And she was like, oh, yes, oh, good, like, oh. Like, speech is easy. It's not supposed to be 20 different information, and you should focus on every 20 pieces of information. It's only one information, the one that you want to speak or tell.
And this information is what? One
word.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else, of course.
If you are a rational person and want to get rid of your stuttering, then join this class, because there's not so much else that works out there.
There is nothing that works out there.
No, there's nothing else. Even if you believe that you will find some cure or some technique that will help you speak, you won't.
Of course. And you know why? Because everyone else believes that stuttering is some kind of a damage of the brain, some kind of a sickness. Exactly. Everyone else believes that.
Yeah.
And all programs are based on this. You need a cure, you need to practice for a long time. No! You need to unlock, get rid of the misinformation, and you're free to do anything you want.
Stuttering is misinformation in your mind.
That's how you can put it in short way. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. You believe things that are not reality.
Yeah. You don't realize that it is very easy to speak. You just need to learn how to do it correctly.